Coming up on the Trojan Football Report, we'll review Troy's loss against Appalachian State on Saturday with Coach Larry Blakeney. We'll visit with Troy senior center Caleb Carbine, plus running backs coach Jeff Beckles. We'll look ahead as well to a big matchup coming up Friday at South Alabama. That and a whole lot more is coming up on the Trojan Football Report. Here on the Trojan Football Report, welcome in. I'm Larry McKnight with Troy head football coach Larry Blakeney, recapping Troy's defeat at home at the hands of Appalachian State this past Saturday. And coach, it was an odd game in the sense that, boy, your club started out so well in the football game.
Yeah, I tell you what, we got to sustain something, you know, offensively and defensively. To win one of these games, it looks like, you know, and it doesn't get any easier. We're looking at South Alabama, who's really, I think they got 61 seniors and juniors on their football team, and a lot of experience. But back to the Appalachian State, you know, they did what they had a great plan. They attacked us on the perimeter with the passing game, and they also had great rushing yardage. And we had a hard time tackling them in the secondary, and we did have a few good things in the special teams that went our way, but certainly Chandler Worthy having another kickoff return for a touchdown and at a good time brought us back into the picture in the game. We couldn't take advantage of it though, and so you know, we're struggling a little bit. We had our two flankers and one of our H's were not available for the game. Really one of them played and probably wasn't ready to play and tried to play hurt. But and then, you know, we got some guys missing on defense, and but you know, if you go around making excuses, you'll spend all your time making excuses and not much time getting any work done. So we're going to try to get those guys back. We got some other guys dinged from the game at Appalachian State to get them ready for South Alabama trip.
Trojans got off to a good start, a long, sustained drive to take a 7-0 lead, and then Appalachian State was able to tie it, as you'll see in a moment, on their first play from scrimmage. And
right, the old play. You know, you come off and you stalk the corner, and he's got man coverage on you, and he slings you and takes off, and of course the quarterback's ride fake and holds everybody down, gets the safety to hang, and you go over the top. And it was a great play by them and not very good play by us, and you know, something that a lot of teams are using now, with the quarterback coming off the mesh and they're feigning the block outside and then releasing to the go ball.
And using the leverage to get him out of the way.
Exactly right.
Interesting. Well, that's one of several plays that we'll take a look at. We enjoy it. We hope you get a chance to watch throughout the entire thing, because you'll notice the ebb and flow of this game. Troy got off to a good start. Appalachian State came storming back, as you'll see in our first half highlights. So you'll notice that the Trojans fell down to a 26-14 margin at halftime on a safety on the last second play in the first half. That was odd.
It was. We thought it might have been a momentum play where Mark Wilson intercepted a fumble, and as he turned toward the end zone, it looked like he got hit, and momentum carried him into the end zone. But as it was ruled, he was supposedly ran into the end zone and was tackled for a safety. Therefore, we got a kickoff from the 20 with very few seconds left in the half, and we didn't want to kick it deep at that juncture. You know, we just sort of rolled it and made the guy pick it up and made the tackle. So, anyhow, it was an odd set of odd sequence that went on along there. They were about to score, and we stopped them. Thought we had them stopped with a touchback, and we wound up with a safety.
So you go into halftime down 26-14. What's the message? What's the mindset?
You know, the message is, hey, if we don't do something here and get better on both sides, it's going to get worse, and it did.
We'll take a look. Troy down 26-14 at halftime. These are your highlights from the second half. Running backs coach Jeff Beckles joins us on the Trojan Football Report. Coach, the body of work for the season so far, now 7 games in. Can you think of a couple of adjectives to describe how your guys have produced so far this year?
Well, they challenge each other. So you know, since there's 3 of them that rotates regularly at the F position. You know, each week it's it's a different one that kind of steps up, you know, to the role. We talked about being violent running, so maybe physical. You know, physical would be another one that you know, we'd like them to be, and then you know, also, you know, so there's a mental part of it too, you know, so we like to cut down on the missed assignments and things like that. So mentally, you know, we want them to be on top of their game mentally, physically, and then you know, and then challenge each other.
It seems to me like with the 3 top backs that you've got, Brandon Burks, obviously the starter. You got Jordan Chun, who is a different type back, and then you got Khari Franklin, who's a change of pace. So you've got 3 guys that you like to shuttle in, but they all have really differing skill sets, don't they? Correct,
and you know, and they know their weaknesses and their strengths and that types of thing, and they work very well together. You know, Khari, a lot of times, you know, he's in the game, and when it's short yardage, he doesn't even look to the sideline. He knows, you know, he's coming out, and you know, we're going to put a bigger back in there. You know, all of them do well catching the ball out of the backfield. You know, and you know, picking up blitzes and things like that. So they all complement each other, but they also know that where their areas of strengths are.
It's interesting because when people across the nation look at this type of an offense, they think it is an aerial circus, throwing it all over the lot, and there's a lot of throwing the football. But what do you tell a running back prospect coming to Troy University about being able to play in an offense like this? What's in it for them?
Right, yeah, and you're exactly right. Your spread offense, mostly you think you're going to, you know, air it all over the place and that types of thing. But that's the thing. We feature the back a lot. You know, we're close to 50-50 run to pass, and you know, and so I told them, is you come to Troy, you know, we play with 1 back, so you're going to be featured. If we're running the ball, chances are you're getting the ball, and you'll be able to show your skills.
Let's talk a little bit about the season to this point. It's been adverse, but you've still got a lot of football left to be played. What's the mindset? And you've got a great deal of experience as a coach at this level. What's the mindset you need to promote to the guys at this point of a season like this?
Well, you know, it's all about a sense of pride. You don't want to just throw a season away. You know, you have Corey, that's a senior. This is his last go at it, you know, so, you know, he's going to give it all he got. And, you know, even the younger guys, like I said, you don't want to throw a season away. You want to be able to take something from each season and, you know, what are you going to take from this season? You know, it's, of course, the wins and losses aren't going the way, you know, we want them to, but, you know, like I said, for the young guys, what are you going to do to develop yourself and to, you know, go on into next season? And then even looking at this season, we've got things to play for. Obviously, with the announcement of Coach Blakeney's retirement, these guys want him to go out, you know, on a good note and that types of thing. And that's tend to motivate the guys, you know, to do well. You know, we have a few teams on our schedule that we have marked, you know, as far as rival type games and things like that. So we still got those to look forward to also.
One final thought. We're talking with Jeff Beckles here on what working for Coach Blakeney has meant to you.
Oh, great man to work for. Even before I got here and I, you know, interviewed for the job and was waiting around to hear if I got it, I would talk to people who had worked for him or know him well and just trying to get an idea, you know, a little bit about him, and I couldn't get anybody to say anything negative about him. And then when I finally got a chance to work for him, I see why. I see why. He's a coach. He's going to let you coach. You know, he gives you a job to do, and he's going to let you do it. And as long as you do it to the, you know, to the best of your ability, you know, he's going to let you do your job, and that's great. And he's a family guy. You know, it's great seeing, you know, the family around the program, you know, whether it's the kids, the wives, you know, all types of things. His family have gotten to know all of his daughters and his wife and that types of thing. And like I said, it's just a great family atmosphere to be in and work environment to be in. And, you know, you enjoy coming to work.
Absolutely. Jeff Beckles is with us. Good luck the rest of the year.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate the time as well. More to come with Coach Blakeney in just a moment on the Trojan Football Report. Spend a little time going one-on-one with one of Troy's student athletes. This week, Coach, we're talking with senior center Caleb Carbine, one of our favorites. He interns with us over at Troy Sports Properties and the radio network and in graduate school, and a guy that one of many players that you have welcomed into this program as part of the walk-on program.
Well, he, you know, he's from Florence, Alabama. I think he actually was on the North Alabama team and transferred here and walked on and has earned a scholarship and also a starting role and is one of the most dependable guys we got, you know, and he's a good young man, a smart young man, and also, you know, fun to be around, as you'll probably see in this interview.
Well, the walk-on program is something I know that you've taken to heart for many years, and he was mentioning some of the other walk-ons at his position, Zach Swindle, also Evan McKissick, sure. Tyler Clark, some guys who, you know,
a lot of guys like that maybe a little undersized to be signed out of college Division I, but you know, come and prove yourself and wind up with a scholarship, and a lot of those guys have done that along the way. And he's certainly been a pleasure to be around.
It's amazing to see what'll happen with young people when you give them a chance. Caleb Carbine, senior center, is our student athlete feature. Here on the Trojan Football Report, our student athlete feature features today Caleb Carbine, senior center out of Florence, Alabama. Caleb, great to have you with us here, and I think your story, as you're here in the middle of your senior season, is a really good one, an instructive one. A guy who walked on that really had to work for everything you got. Kind of tell us a little bit about it.
Well, yeah, I originally out of high school signed with a Division II school, University of North Alabama, and it was hometown. It was a hometown school for me, and I decided that, you know, I wanted to see a change and move out of Florence. So Coach Edenfield, I contacted Coach Edenfield after I got my release papers, and he said I'd have a chance down here to play. So didn't really have many other options, so I decided to come down here and walk on, and sat for a year. It was ineligible, and yeah, it was tough at first, just kind of earning my respect and trying to earn everybody else's respect and kind of prove that I was more than just a walk on. But you know, Troy's been really good with walk-ons and giving everybody a shot, and they really gave me a fair chance at playing and let me see reps early on, and I was able to prove myself. So,
with the transition into more playing time, you had a lot of guys in front of you, a lot of mentors in the position along the O-line.
Yeah, for sure. When I first got here, Zach Swindle, I mean, he kind of had a similar story. He walked on. He was an undersized guy too, and I really looked up to him when he was playing. And then right after him was Kyle Wilborn, who was a great player, and then Evan McKissick, who I split time with last year. He was also a walk-on and an undersized guy. So they kind of paved the way, along with before I got here, Tyler Clark was also a walk-on and an undersized guy. So they kind of paved the way for us, and really, kind of opening the door for walk-ons to be able to play on the offensive line.
With your role as the center, people look at this offense and see how fast-paced it is, and they think about the skill position players. It's fast-paced for you guys as well. Give our viewers a clue as to exactly what goes on in the 8, 10, 12, 15 seconds between plays.
Well, as soon as we run one play, I've got to find where the ball's going to be spotted, where the umpire's going to set the ball up, and as soon as we figure that out, we try to get the play in as fast as we can and get it communicated across the front, and then I'm pretty much sitting there waiting for the quarterback to tell me when I can snap the ball, as well as listening to the umpire talk, because they have to get everybody subbed in and whatnot. So he has to tell us when we can snap the ball, and then the guards and everybody else is kind of painting a picture for me and telling me what's in front of me, and different calls and who I need to look at right before I snap the ball, because my head's between my legs waiting for the quarterback the whole time. So it's really fast-paced. The main role I have is to get set, get on the ball as soon as possible, and get everybody else set, and then we start making our calls and play.
Talking with Caleb Carbine here, senior center. Florence, Alabama native. We've established that it's not exactly next door, but you've always had the support of your family. We see them at every game that you play. That must be meaningful to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My family is a huge part of my life, and really let this be possible for me to come down here, because I mean, I turned down another scholarship at UNA, and they were able to financially support me so I could walk on and play down here, and they've been a huge support base for me, and it's been awesome.
Well, for those people who don't know, Caleb also interns in the Troy Sports Properties office, where our radio network is centered out of, and does a really good job there. What are your plans for after college?
Well, I love marketing, and I love I want to work in athletic administration in any capacity. I love kind of interested in like development and stuff like that. So hopefully just continue to gain experience. I'm in grad school right now, so I'm going to try to gain experience in as many facets of the sports management world as I can, and then take it from there.
Well, it's great to be able to work with you, and good luck. Thanks for the time here today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Senior center Caleb Carbine, our student athlete feature here on the Trojan Football Report. Fans, welcome back into the Trojan Football Report. This is a segment we like to call the Trojan Top 5, the top 5 plays from Troy's loss to Appalachian State. So the Trojans fall to Appalachian State. They don't have a whole lot of people to feel sorry for them right now, and not a whole lot of time to get ready for South Alabama on the road.
2 short turnarounds in a row against 2 very good teams. University of South Alabama, aforementioned 61 seniors and juniors on their football team, so they got a lot of experience. Then we turn it around after a Friday night game and have to go to Georgia Southern on Thursday night. And, you know, 2 tough games in a row against 2 very good teams. And certainly, you know, we'll have to put our best foot forward in both.
After the difficulties of this season, particularly the difficulties of this past Saturday against Appalachian State, what's the approach with this team? What's the mindset collectively, Larry? I
think you know, we got to do a certain amount of work. We got to continue to believe in each other and be simple, and be simple and be physical and you know, see what happens.
Well, Trojans play 6:30 Friday night down at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. It is going to be televised on ESPNU. We'd love to have as many Troy fans down there as possible for that game between the Trojans and the Jaguars of South Alabama. Hope you get a chance to be there. We also hope you get a chance to watch next week when we bring you another edition of the Trojan Football Report.